Today I'm going over how I make the panels and different things that I create in OBS, and the tool that I use is called Xara. Okay, well this tool that I've used for many years, we're going to flip over here, it's called Xara. I've been using it for 20 plus years or more. I'm actually using the Pro version of it. It does some better exports and different things like that for sending to like a print house or something to do print house type stuff. The cheaper version, which just does mostly stuff for web, so you could actually use this version to create templates and panels for OBS and for streaming and YouTube. Right now it's on sale for $44.99, which is a pretty good price. Regularly $149, but still, I've always upgraded over the years, so it just kind of makes sense for me to continue to get the Designer Pro version. The interesting about the Xara company, they do work in this place over in the UK called Gaddison Place. It was built in 1768 to 1773. It's kind of like a small castle type thing. So it'd be pretty cool to go there to go to work. Where do you work? I work in a castle. There you go. So yeah. Some of the different things that I've done over the years is that I was using it for doing advertising for a lumberyard store. Doing print advertising. This is going into magazines and home show things and newspapers and stuff like that, and it made it really easy to put things together. I could pull off different color plates off of this and be able to do different things. Some of the fonts didn't work out when I opened it in this, because this setup is like, oh, this must have been done this 20 years ago or so, but it made it so fast to do it. Just go in, because I could pull out the red plate, all the red colors I could pull out, and then I could pull out a black plate with all the black colors, and then they could do the two color printing and be able to put it in magazines and things like that. Something else that I always thought was really cool about this program was that you could create linked colors. So here there's this car, and down here there's in the palette down here on the bottom row, there's this first item, which is the blue color, which is the color of the car. And I could take that and drag it onto the color palette editor. And then as I drug and slid this over, you would see that the car would change. And if you notice down here on the bottom row, here, all of the linked colors also change because they're linked to that color value and they offset. And when you change the master one, it just so you can make the car go to any color you want. So if you design something, it's like, oh, that looks really good. And then what if it's, they say, well, what if it's green? Well, then you just move the slider over to green, and then you're able to see everything in the new color. So, and also they have this example that was kind of given to kind of show how fast it was drawing. I mean, back in the mid 90s, I mean, Photoshop was really bogged down slow, and you needed a super huge computer then. I mean, not so much now. It's gotten a lot more efficient. But at that time, they had this example, which was this microscope. Now, you can keep zooming in on this microscope, and you see, oh, there's a little house there. All the knobs and knurls are fairly detailed and everything else. But as you zoom in, you start to see here in the middle, there's a little dot on the slide that's in the microscope. And if you keep going all the way to maximum zoom, you see it's a lady in a bathtub. So that's how much detail you can get inside this drawing program. And I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. You can get that detailed. So so something that detailed should be pretty easy to be able to create panels for OBS. So here's the one panel that I'm using, that we're actually using out here, that actually is the drawing in here. So I have this little a panel here that has just my social links and website and everything there. And then there's a cutout opening here and a cutout opening here. That's the video and the content that you want to display. So this makes it pretty easy to do. You can do things that are less elaborate, just like on the main screen here, the video only screen, that just has the little logo here that's just kind of right there, just something like that. My roaming cam has, kind of this other thing. The sky cam, which isn't plugged in right now, has a little sky cam and other things on it. But that makes it pretty easy to do different things and get those, put in there in a plate with the transparency. So you need to export it as a PNG with transparency. So to get how quick this is, I can just drag a box over here. It has the snap to object ability. So if you notice, as I move this up here in the top, it's actually seeing these lines that are there that's snapping to the objects so that they're together. I can move this down to the bottom, it'll snap to that object, and then I can move this over here, and boom, now I got a panel. So now all I need to do is click the back image and click one of the objects and combine shapes and slice that out of there. And then now that part is gone, and click there, arrange, combine shapes, slice, and now boom. So there's my panel. I already have a panel already. So it makes it pretty easy in order to just come through. And now I could export this and say, okay, that's good. But I wanted to kind of make it a little bit better. It kind of looks a little bit better if there's some kind of frame or something that's around the openings. So if I look and see that this has these kind of silver frames around the little parts of the panel, and I could do that pretty easily. I have this little box here. It's already got kind of you can create a gradient. If you do a fill, you can just go across it with different colors and be able to go give it a really wide kind of thick thing there. Take my fill out so I have no colors. Let's make the line be that. Let's go. We have to do something called arrange, convert line to shape. So now this line is now a shape. I can take and kind of go across it with this. You can kind of see how it's I can take a little bit darker color, put it down here on the bottom, and there we go. Now we got a little bit of a gradient kind of thing there. Makes that good. And then we can go and do kind of the same thing on this side. I'm just going fast. I obviously use more detail and more care with the other one. Give it we'll go with the 16 size, really thick, which means it needs to be a little bit down a little bit. So there we go, like that. No fill. So then we're going to give our line that kind of color. Now we got to do arrange, convert line to shape. Now we have this line as a shape, and then I can take and just fill across with that. I could actually go, if I wanted this end to be kind of, purplish in the fill, I could do that. Set that to more purpley or something like that. So you can do any kind of color pattern or anything that you want. Boom. Now I can export this, and then it would be 2 transparent areas, and then I can go to OBS and put my images and my panels and things laid out in that area. So it's pretty simple. So here I'm just gonna do a quick file export of this graphic. We'll give it that. Boom. Okay. So now you can see, wait, I don't see anything. Well, that's because there's nothing there. So I have to export it with true color and the alpha channel, which is the transparent area. So when I do that, you can't with a JPEG, there's no transparency, so you can't do it with JPEG. GIF, you can do it, but you're going to lose a lot of coloring. TIFF, PNG does it. BMP does not. So best to do it with PNG because that gets you true color and alpha when you export it, and then go boom, and then you can add that as an object in your layers in your scene in OBS, and it makes it pretty quick. This is just, I took a bit more time doing this one, so that it would, you know, my boxes and things are a little more detailed and a little bit thinner line. But for this example, I'm just making them big. So, and anything you want, you know, you can start putting in there and making different kind of things and quickly, easily export them. You can put photos in there and clip and crop around photographs and different things like that. Makes it real easy to do. So that's what I use. All right, I've been using this program for, like I said, for, I don't know, 20, maybe even 25 years, something like that. So I'm pretty good at it, I'm pretty adept at it. But if you want to download the trial and just be able to play with it and see what it can do, and if it works for you, great. If you think it's garbage, then let me know, and maybe I can help you to see why I think it's great. So if you comment and down below, I might be able to help you if you want to see if you like this program. Like I said, I don't get any money out of it. I don't get anything. It's just the program that I've used forever for many different things. Like I said, print ads and these web design things and all kinds of stuff. So makes it pretty quick and easy for me. All right. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching this one, and take care.